Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is now just 138 days away from its release by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio, as well as creator George Lucas. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, what's really exciting about Episode 9 is that we do know that this film is going to really bring in a lot of different revelations that will lead to saga-wide implications within the Skywalker saga. That's really going to change how we view the past 8 Star Wars films. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very exciting between both characters of Kylo Ren and Darth Sidious. Now, specifically, what's really intriguing about all of this is that a description of one of the scenes based in the third act of the film, where it's described that Kylo Ren is sitting inside of his chambers, where he is holding the melted Darth Vader helmet in his hands, where Kylo is said to have the mask off during the scene with his eyes closed, where he is said to be meditating through the ways of the dark side, where a certain voice is said to be guiding Kylo Ren. This voice is said to reach Kylo Ren through Vader's melted helmet, that is secretly said to be the Sith spirit of Palpatine, using the Vader helmet as a conduit and masking himself as Vader's energy, tricking Kylo Ren into believing it's Vader communicating with, of course, Kylo Ren. It's said that Palpatine is indirectly training Kylo Ren without letting Kylo know that he is Palpatine, where the voices that Kylo hears is said to be ancient Sith code, and even influences Kylo Ren to discover some of the Dark Temples as part of his training to become complete. It's even described that the voices of Palpatine's spirit try to convince Kylo Ren to destroy his mother as a way to fully complete his training to prove his loyalty to the dark side of the Force. So let's go over a couple of parts about this, because this really does change how we view now The Force Awakens without a doubt. In The Force Awakens, we saw Kylo Ren talking to the melted Vader helmet, and we were left wondering, is Kylo Ren crazy, or is he just talking to himself, or is he actually hearing a voice radiating from that melted helmet of Darth Vader? And now in The Rise of Skywalker, it seems as though that J.J. Abrams really wants to make that make a lot of sense from The Force Awakens now in Episode 9, where it's actually the Sith spirit of Sidious actually communicating with Kylo Ren, using the melted Darth Vader helmet as a conduit, if you will, since it's actually described that this helmet still has some dark side energy attached to it. Now, what's really intriguing about this is that Kylo Ren has no idea that this is Palpatine's spirit communicating with him, where Kylo believes that it's to be the Sith spirit of Darth Vader attached to the melted helmet. And that's a very interesting side of Star Wars, that this is actually going to be a training session for Kylo Ren, where Palpatine indirectly trains Kylo, not letting Kylo Ren know that he is Palpatine, but tricking him into believing that he is Darth Vader. So that's a very interesting point by Palpatine, because we do know that he's trying to make Kylo Ren a very strong, Force-sensitive individual for obvious reasons. Of what we talked about a couple of weeks ago is that he does have an interest in his body as a new host, since the Dark Acolyte just isn't strong enough, and that he wants that mighty Skywalker blood. So that's a very interesting part of Episode 9, the way that Palpatine's spirit is going to be set up, and how it's going to be revealed at the very end of the movie that it was really Palpatine all along, communicating with Kylo Ren within that Darth Vader helmet itself. So on top of all of this, there are voices that are radiating out of this helmet inside of Kylo Ren's mind, one of which tells him to destroy his own mother, Leia, in order to complete his training. Now, one would believe that killing Han Solo would have been the deal, right? But it's all a matter of destroying every single connection possible. Snoke even asked, Kylo Ren to destroy, Rey at the time to complete his training. Now it's basically the same exact scenario, where he's got to cut off a different type of connection here. That, of course, being his mother, Leia herself, portrayed by Carrie Fisher. So, what I like about this is that this is a very dark side of Star Wars, a very dark and gritty moment for the character of Kylo Ren, where he's being trained by Palpatine while he doesn't even know it. And I think that's a very unique and original thing that J.J. Abrams is trying to put together here. If you look at Palpatine, he really is the master of manipulation. We've seen what he did in Revenge of the Sith against Anakin Skywalker, telling him about Darth Plagueis and how he could save Padme Amidala and doing all these different things. And now in The Rise of Skywalker, Palpatine is essentially masking himself to be Darth Vader's Sith spirit, or the energy of Vader communicating with Kylo Ren through the helmet. Meanwhile, it's really Palpatine all along, training Kylo Ren to become stronger through the ways of the dark side in order to use him as a potential new host body. So that's a very interesting point, because we also know that Episode 9 is going to borrow a lot of elements from, of course, Star Wars Dark Empire. And you guys may recall that at one point in time in Legends, Luke turned to the dark side, and there was a moment once Luke turned that Palpatine wanted to enter into his body. However, in Legends, the host has to permit the spirit to actually enter one's body. In this scenario, I'm not quite sure if it's going to work the same way. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.